Before we do begin, Lex, are Ruv and the others joining us or nakakarinig sila? May audio naman dyan sa area niyo. All right. Ayan. Okay, I hope you are seeing my slide. And today is the first Sunday of March. By the way, usually this is a communion Sunday, but we will not have communion today. In fact, I don't think we've done communion online yet, but it's possible that we can attempt to do that next week, pending announcements. All right. But for this time together, we just have the message, and yeah, the subject is March kasi March nga, no? But here's the thing, no? Last what do you call this? Last month was February, and we talked about love. And March is actually based from the Greek god, what's the name sa Roman, Mars, ano po? And Mars is actually the god of war, no? So ayan. Yung tema po natin ngayon ay about sa war, no? But again, as you'll see, it's a war that is meant for you to live peacefully. Hindi to, no, dahil war yung topic, magiging mas mabangis tayo. Pwede naman, no? But really we prepare for war so that we can live in peace. Ika nga, no? But again, taking it from the Christian way. But our theme for the coming month will be marching. Okay? So hindi lang pero marching also. And we are marching for Jesus in particular. And I don't know where you are on that journey. But we all are in different steps, no? But this evening we'll be looking at it from the perspective of one who wants to, follow Jesus, and we'll take a look at Luke 14:27 to 33 for this. Could I, just to test that the mics are okay? Can I have Kuya Ferdy? Nasa bus ba kayo? Okay. Ayan po. So si Kuya Ferdy ay nasa bus, naka-ano lang po siya. Can I have Ethel read this passage that we will be using for the evening? So para ma-test ko lang ang rin, no? But Ethel, can you read this passage, Luke 14:27 to 33?
Whoever does not bear his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it? Otherwise, when he has laid a foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, "This man began to build and was not able to finish." Or what king going out to encounter another king in war will not sit down first and deliberate whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him who comes against him with 20,000? And if not, while the other is yet a great way off, he sends a delegation and asks for terms of peace. So therefore, any one of you who does not renounce all that he has cannot be my disciple.
Okay, thank you for the reading of the word. And as I look at those present, I do believe that you are, familiar with who Jesus is and, the message he gives. And so I hope this is, in a sense, it's not a new thing that we are discussing here. But sometimes I think, I want to challenge you that perhaps there is a pattern that we can be, we can take a step even further than where we are right now in our relationship with God, particularly Jesus. And yeah, I mean, you're all engaged, we're all at different levels, but one way or another, my heartbeat is you would, step closer in sync with him. and I do believe that leads to the best kind of life possible. Sabi nga ni Jesus, why did Jesus come? No, I have come that you might have life and have it abundantly. And I see that even here as we discuss this thing na parang napakaano naman, no? A cross and these things. But again, think about the end goal, and the end goal is a closer step towards Jesus, who is the key really to the universe. And so let's take a look at this. There's this and really I talk here about marching for Jesus, marching in sync with Jesus, and what this passage does is bring us in a sense, what will that take to do that, to march with Jesus and to continue with him. And I think lots of us have problems even beginning because we don't consider the things that are being said here. And one thing in particular, I don't know if any of you know this, no? But this is almost a meme in the internet. Ang nakasulat dito is one does not simply walk into Mordor, no? So kung kayo po ay fan ng Lord of the Rings, nandyan galing yan, no? You know what this is, right? But if you haven't, no? So this is a what do you call this? A phrase in the movie The Fellowship of the Rings, which is a story about a group of people who want to complete a quest, and one person stands up and says, I'm gonna do this. No, I'm gonna bring the object, which was a ring, and throw it in the volcano, and bring it, do the right thing. Okay, and then this guy seen in this picture says, well, one does not simply walk into Mordor. And it's almost it's actually a meme, no? Pero the point stands na hindi siya ganun kasimple, no? And when I look at this passage, I'm saying na one does not simply walk into discipleship, no? Sometimes we think, especially in the Christian life, no, automatic na, no? Hindi. Uso ba yan? Okay? Sige, magpapa-disciple na rin ako, no? We do not simply walk into discipleship. In fact, it's not a natural process, no? Ang nakasulat dito in the text that we read is whoever does not bear his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. A cross is a heavy burden to bear, no? Hindi siya ganun kadali. And I think that's where some of us, why we have not proceeded so much in following Jesus is hindi natin na count in a sense yung cost na ito, no? That there is a cross to bear. And in fact, it's not a natural process, no? Na like different things, no? Pero parang pag nauso, okay, maganda yan, no? The next day nandun ka na. No, sometimes it's not. You have to go about discipleship in a different way, no? Consider an elevator, no? Sometimes the natural thing is to go down it. But one way I want to describe the process of discipleship or marching with Jesus is paakyat ka actually sa elevator na pababa. No, you're trying to go against the flow of how things are. It's not that you're going down the elevator, you're trying to go up it, and people are confused, no? And people, especially those who don't know who Jesus is, titingin sa iyo, no? At bakit siya ganun? Yun yung normal, no? Pero, so if that's not your experience of that process, no? Baka hindi ka talaga umaakyat, no? Baka pababa yung direction mo kasi parang napaka-relax naman, no, ng buhay Kristiyano, no? There is a process and sometimes it's not natural. So when you think about, what does it take to engage or march with Jesus, then consider that there is in fact a cost. Okay? And then these are just a couple of things, but we see this all in the passage, no? Marching for Jesus requires considerable investment. And this is the example he gives, Jesus himself gives. For which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it. Okay, may cost. And it's not easy to build a tower, neither is it easy to complete it. No, I always try to stop whenever we're going somewhere, and pag nakita ko yung isang bahay na I always stop with and ask and say to my wife, no, tingnan niyo to, no, nagkulang sa materials. Okay, kaya a while ago I was looking at may pinapagawa kasi dito sa bahay na sa kitchen, no, ng nanay ko. So pinuntahan ko, chinek ko kung pwede ko bang picturean at ilagay dito. Okay naman, so hindi ko na lang pinicturean, no. Pero tatawa sana ako at sasabihin na nagkulang sa materials. Joke lang. baka nandiyan si mama, no. But the point is, no, when we think about that, there is a process, in a sense. When we sit down, we have to consider that we wanna, we don't only wanna begin it, we wanna, continue. We wanna finish the process, in a sense, no. And again, ito yung sinasabi na kung unfinished, and I think that sometimes the hard part, no, nagiging unfinished yung journey, no, nagiging unfinished yung disciple, and I would say even an unfinished disciple makes for memeable material, no. Sabi dito, otherwise, when he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. And you know what? Don't you see that sa mga church natin, examples of Christians who, well, they make the news, not because they're so good, but because so many funny things happen, and people laugh, and it's really about the process of discipleship. Let me tell you a story, and I think this was with the BCP na long time ago, no. So kung alam niyo to, please verify. Pero there's may mga Cebuano naman tayo dito at Tagalog speakers, no. But one time there was a pastor coming from I don't know, Mindanao or Cebu, and then pumunta sa Manila, and then so they visited some sites, and isang binisit nila ay isang piggery, no. So it was a piggery, and he was asked to pray for the, what do you call this, pastor, pag-pray niyo naman yung yung piggery namin na umunlad, no. And yeah, these things happen. Tapos so this pastor was sige na nga, pray na nga tayo, but he was not really familiar with the language. So ang prayer niya, Ama namin, i-bless niyo po ang kanilang kababuyan at kahayupan, no, kasi it's a piggery nga, no. So in a sense, so he meant well, pero natawa yung you feel, in a sense, offended, no, sa nangyaring iyon. But these things happen, no. But the point is, sometimes this becomes a joke, and there are so many of them. And actually this comes down from a true story, pero the point is, that's just a little bit of what's happening, no. We can talk about people who are moral failures, failures in different things, and magugulat yung mga tao, Christian ba talaga yun, no. And I will say, these are people who began the discipleship process but have not considered finishing it. Okay, nagiging katatawa tayo, no. We become a laughing stock, and buti kung it's just us laughing, no, but really it's others, it's the world. And so I would encourage all of us not to consider finishing. If you want to start this journey of being affiliated, of marching with Jesus, consider that you need to finish it. Okay, and there's still hope for all of us if we are in this stage. And the other thing is simply this, marching for Jesus is a surrender. And this is where, the war analogies come in. Ang nakasulat dito, or what king going out to encounter another king in war will not sit down first and deliberate whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him who comes against him with 20,000. Okay? No, may delegates ka na so in other words, as you go about this business, kaya ko ba talaga to, no? And the thing about this, the wonderful thing about this is it's not about, it's not about anong meron sa akin, no? Kanina sabi ko na kulang sa materials. But the good thing about, the discipleship journey is not about, having the right amount of money or investment or time or effort. It's actually about alam mo na nagkulang ka, that you're not enough to reach what is being asked of you. And that's the thing that's happening here, no? Dapat maintindihan mo that you're not able, and what is being asked here, no? Malayo pa lang, nag-ask ka na ng surrender. You ask that, I can't do this. I can't do this on my own, no? And maybe to simplify that, marching for Jesus is a surrender of the walk of life that we are used to. Okay? That's simply it, no? Yung kapatid kong isa, he's not here right now. I think he's not, no? But is a passionate tawag dito, rock climber, no? So meron siyang naisabit dito sa door, yung a thing that you hang on, no? And the longer you hang on it, mas matagal kang nasa stress. And I think that's where we are really in our life sometimes, no? And here's the thing, no? Parang tayo naghahang on and think about it. Maybe you've tried so many other different things para lang mag-cope sa buhay. And maybe all you need to do is, just release it, no? Just give it up. Just move away from insisting on how your walk of life is, no? And surrender that to a walk of life that involves Jesus, no? Sometimes parang half lang binibigay natin, no? Okay, I will march with Jesus, but itong portion lang na ito, no? But really God wants us to, engage him all the way, no? Kung sa poker ito, all in, lahat ng nasa iyo ibigay mo, no? And because sometimes, when we think about this process, parang gusto natin hindi lahat ng resources invest ko diyan, no? Konti lang, baka palpak, no? And what I'm saying, that's not gonna work, no? When it comes to Jesus, it's an all or nothing thing. And yeah, that's hard. But again, consider that this is the way forward. This is the way where Jesus wants you to go, no? And it's again, it's not meant that, it's not meant to be a burden, although it may seem so in his words, no? But again, let me say that Jesus came that you may have life and that you will have it abundantly. And just as the song says kanina, no? When we walk upon the water, he just meets us there. So I think this is all I have for you this evening. May you contemplate it and may, dwell upon it, even as we continue onwards. So that's it. Let me stop this.